Dundee had lost 5 straight games going into this weekend's match with Hearts at Tynecastle. The home side themselves on a run of 3 straight defeats. Pressure on both Paul Hartley and Ian Cathro. Something had to give. Commentary on this one comes from Rory Hamilton.
Following a run of 6 defeats in 7 games, Ian Cathro welcomes back Arnaud Jume after almost a month out. Sam Nicholson, however, is suspended. Liam Smith and Prince Buaben also return in defence. Dundee's form is possibly even more of a concern. 19-year-old Daniel Higgins makes his debut in a team that have suffered defeat in the last 5 outings. Tom Haitley is promoted from the bench. It's Cowie's corner, and it's a deep one for Chiolis arriving. A difficult skill to catch that one perfectly. And it goes well wide of target in the end. It's Haitley's throw up the line. Won by Kitchen, and Jume gets Gonçalves involved, and there's space now for Cowie to move into. Gonçalves delays the shot, and then finds the back of the net. And Hearts lead after 13 minutes. And it's Ismael Gonçalves with his 5th goal for the club. Well, Cowie opened it up. Gonçalves delayed the shot to deceive the challenge of McGowan. And despite the efforts of Darren O'Dea on the line, Gonçalves opens the scoring for Ian Cathro's side. That's the first goal that Hearts have scored in 3 games. It's Kerr's long throw, and it almost came all the way to Haitley. And I think Jamie Walker got in with a touch there. Haitley isn't getting the decision on the throw, but Walker seems to have got back with a crucial intervention. Gonçalves to Jume, and there's a bit of space now for Walker. Still Jamie Walker unleashes the shot, but it's easy enough for Scott Bain to collect. He scored 15 times this season, so often the spark that Hearts need. Kitchen drops it back to Prince Buaben, who's playing at centre-back. Walker attacks it. Well, having to go from back to front with a lack of options going forward. Buaben's ball forward, and Walker's header, but easy for Dundee to defend. Struna. Walker. His first touch wasn't the cleanest. His pass was short as well, and that invited the challenge from Cammy Kerr, who was very heavy into Liam Smith. And it's met with a yellow card from referee Crawford Allen. Just seemed to slip as he slid into the challenge. Walker now. It's Cowie taking up some excellent positions. Great ball in. It's Arnaud Jume's header. And Scott Bain with a fine save to keep out Arnaud Jume. He really does make a difference to this Hearts team, and almost adding the 2nd goal. And Tom Haitley over the free kick. He does have a very dangerous delivery. It's right-footed, curling in. It beat everyone. And he finds the post, and I think there might have been a fine touch from Jack Hamilton in goals. Long ball forward for Cowie, who just hooks it into the middle. Walker can collect. Chiolis. Well, he kept it low. Never really one that was ever going to trouble Scott Bain. Chiolis, who has 1 goal as a Hearts player. And that's given away by Struna. And now Novak's in trouble. Here's Whiten. Well, things are just beginning to get a little nervy around Tynecastle. Novak gave it away. Good pace and strength from Whiten, but he couldn't apply the finish. And Paul Hartley's Dundee really need to start picking up some points somewhere. Cowie. And it was Smith who attacked the header. Still alive for Hearts. Well, he rose well here. Couldn't direct it on target. Cowie. Now to Curry. And the shot blocked. Struna. Gonsalves. Still Ismail Gonsalves, deflected, and it's a good save in the end by Scott Bain. He had to react. Well, Gonsalves already has one, but the second goal continues to evade Hearts.
Towards the end of the game, it was clear that it was about us getting over the line. We had to defend some long balls, some direct play. We still managed to try and play a little bit and control towards the end, but it was about getting it over the line, given the situation that we're in, and we've done that.
Hearts probably, they scored a goal and we have a great chance in the first half of June, but we hit the post, and then Craig has an outstanding chance in the second half, and that's the difference. When your chances come, you've got to take them and be clinical.
A big win for Ian Cathro's side. Dundee very much in the doldrums. Stephen, just how impressed were you by Hearts?
I was impressed certainly with them in the first half. You know, we've been critical of them. They've had criticism for not having identity or a style. I certainly saw a style in that first half. I saw an expansive attacking side, and you see here just how expansive they were. There's one of their fullbacks, Struna, dropping it into a midfielder and then going. And you see Boabin, who was playing actually as a centre half yesterday, the distance between the centre halves, they were trying to get midfielders on the ball, dropping in Jolis, and then Jolis into Kitchen again, who was another sitting midfielder, out the other side. And you can see the other fullback here, young Smith, stretching the game again. They're moving through the thirds of the pitch. Don Kelly makes a fantastic run in behind, as he did all day. And when the ball comes in, Isma should actually do better. It's a great cross. You'd expect him to at least hit the target, but this was typical of the way they played in the first half. Again, trying to build from the back. The keeper out to full-back, into another midfielder. They look for the switch of play. You can see here the two midfielders rotating. Jamie Walker coming in and Don Cowie making a very similar run again, into out. The ball gets switched to a high full-back once again. That run from Kelly allows Jamie Walker to go through the gap. With a better touch, he could maybe get a shot and score. So I was impressed with them in the first half, and they had a definite style.
You see here one aspect of the game that you wouldn't necessarily associate with Jamie Walker, but very much needed there, because Tom Hateley almost gets in, but great defensive clearance from Jamie Walker, and you see wanting to get up and press on the opposition.
Very animated.
Yeah, but it's the way you've got to play, in particular at Tynecastle at home. You've got to go and press the opposition, and you know, on the flip side of that, I was surprised at the lack of, you see the clips there from Hearts, really good quick play, 1 and 2 touch and good movement, but the lack of closing down from Dundee, concerning.
But Hearts were resilient. I think that's the one thing. They saw
Michael,
the game out.
You're a former Hearts captain. You've been very critical of Hearts in recent weeks. How much heart do you take from that victory for your old
Well,
side?
I wouldn't say it's been overly or very critical. I think the results have not been good enough. It's quite clear, but there's got to be confidence taken from that result. But it's got to be backed up with more than just that one result, because far too often when they've got a result, they've not backed it up.
Yeah, they need to build on it.
They need to build on this and get a bit of momentum going, because it's been sadly lacking in the last few months.
And 6 defeats in